Rejection.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week, another episode of A Coming of Age, the podcast.
L is for the way you look at me.
Whoa, that started off rough.
Is for the only one I see. V is very... Okay, you guys get it. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hey.
Your L.
Coming of age.
Yo, I posted on our IG stories. Check out our IG page, people. Check out our IG page at Coming of Age _ the podcast. But I posted Love Language as the fallout, for February 14th. There, listen to that.
Yeah.
Fallout. Your L at the beginning of this thing, when I said A Coming of Age, it didn't sound good, man. It sounded very...
It didn't sound good?
Yeah, it sounded very gentle. Hey, boys. It sounded very... it was like...
Yo, don't ever make that sound on here again, please.
Anyway, we are back. We are back in action, everyone, with a brand new episode this week. Frankie, how you feeling? What is up? How's it going?
I'm feeling pretty good. I had a burger today, so I feel, fulfilled. I had 2 coffees. I'm feeling enlightened.
When you say
just
burger,
saw my parent.
Your burger's your quarter pounder with cheese thing?
Oh, what?
Quarter pounder or like something else?
No, I make my own burgers here. Like I made burgers.
Oh, you were home
today.
today.
Barbecue.
You were like home.
Yeah, I was barbecue.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
Gotcha. I make my own burgers here. This guy says. I make my own burgers here. This guy says.
Cece actually makes our burgers from scratch when we go camping, and they're phenomenal. But today we're store bought.
Store bought. Do you have a preference for frozen burgers?
I don't care. No.
Oh, you're a young guy. See, that's the part of youngness. When you get
as long
to
as it's not like a
40,
small patty, like I want a good sized patty, but it's the dressings that count, right? So
that's true. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
You can take a doo-doo burger and make that a gourmet burger just with your proper dressings.
Nah, man, you can't take a compliments. If you're talking about compliments, brand, I can't do compliments, man. I can't do anything compliments. They can't sponsor
all of ours
our show
are Costco, I think.
Oh, yo, big up, Kirkland.
Shout out compliments, Costco. Yo. Shout out compliments in Costco, yo.
Yo, big them up, man. If you want, you know what? I'll say anything if you guys want to sponsor the show, man. I got anything you guys want to do.
Next episode. Anything. Yo, guys, just want to tell you compliments right now, yo. It's
gonna be a setup. Be like, yo, Frank, ask me if what I ate today. Ask me what I ate today. Be like, yo, what you eat today? Yo, man, I had a compliments burger, man. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And hey, it was only $4.99.
But we are back with the new episode this week. Great feedback on last week's episode. Great feedback so far.
Feedback too, yeah.
Yeah, great feedback on season 2 as a whole. And a lot of people are checking our old episodes out. I mean, I don't want to call them old episodes, but our season 1 episodes, which you can find everywhere. Anywhere you stream your music or podcast, you can find A Coming of Age. And people are still listening to that stuff. It's timeless material, Frankie. Timeless material.
Yo, man, I had a shout out from my old this would be elementary school boy, Frank. Not Frank. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's not like we're live here recording.
You know why? Because on Francis. He gave a shout out. My cousin Zig Love. He gave a shout out. Check out his Instagram page. Yo, DJ. He just had his baby.
Shout out to DJ. Yep.
Yo, man, but he gave a shout out. Akil gave a shout out. Arlene gave a shout out. My mom gave a shout out. I got shout outs all. Taylor gave a shout out. It was good this week, man.
Yo, listen. So shout out to Sam, who's been a friend of mine since I was in elementary, middle school days. She listened to the Taylor McWaters episode, which I believe is
I saw that. She commented.
26, something in that range. And
it was 25,
25, sorry.
Waters.
And and she brought up the suck toe Spittin 5, like the famous suck toe. Terrible, man. Still my least favorite Spittin 5.
I've been saving a juicy one for you. I'm just waiting for the right moment to strike.
The worst thing about that is, and I know, and I feel like I've gotten to know Frank even better now, but I always knew Frank had this odd like humor to him, where things don't sometimes add up. So like that, the reason why that thing is so like funny to me is that there was no consequences. It wasn't like it was like yo, you want to you got to do one of these. You suck a big toe, or you lick the toilet seat or something like that.
Lick a toilet rim, or get hot sauce poured into your eyes. Hot sauce.
But there was no like, okay, what if I don't do that? It was like, nah, you got to pick one.
That's
like,
not
it's not life or death. It's nothing. It's just what it is.
You just got to do it. Listen, man, I have this common problem with some of my like groups I'm associated with, because I usually am the unorthodox or uncultured or whatever one, and I just get. There's a group that I'm in, Wise Men, and I stopped posting my jokes. I'll post stuff. Like I can send you nasty stuff. You be like, yo, that's hilarious, whatever. I post in there. Yo, all I get is, yo, what's wrong with this? Yo, Frank, yo, what the black? Yo, why you sending me this body, man? I'm like, all right, I'm out of here, yo. I stopped. I'm like, all right, I learned my lesson. Cool. Or I get silence. Nothing worse than silence. When you post something and you think it's hilarious, and you see everybody read it,
and then no one says anything.
I'm like, all right.
That's the worst. That is the worst feeling. And you know what? That ties in to what we're going to be talking about. I was just going to
say, yo, that ties right in.
What a guy. That ties in perfectly. Yeah, I was going to say, kick it off. That ties in perfectly what we're going to be talking about today.
We're going to roll with the Stones. Yeah, you see what I did there? Right into our topic. This guy just like rolled his eye.
Very
like
nice.
One of those side rolls. I saw it.
It's like he did something cool to tie in the subject, but then he's like, "We'll
and then I just threw it out the window. This week we are talking about, and it's a one-liner this week. It's just going to be called Rejections. Simple. Rejections. So, we're going to be kicking off. Yes, S. We're going to be kicking off with the first segment, which is going to be simply called Rejection Sucks. And then we're going to talk about rejections, how you can experience them, whether it's a relationship, at work, business development, loan, friendship, what have you. And then we're going to talk about ways that we've either personally overcome rejection, or just ways that we thought of that you can overcome rejection. Because, hey, man, it's a hard trench to get out of. It can definitely be devastating. There's levels to this game, so this ain't practice. See, there you go. I got a little head shake. I was ready for that. Also, you know what? Here's a shout out for anybody who knows how to record video from Instagram video.
Hey, good job, Ricky. Hit
us up with a comment
or
an
free.
Email.
For free.
Send us something.
Free-wise. Yeah.
I've researched and I cannot figure that out. Please. Yeah. Anyways, Azam.
Yes.
Rejection sucks. Now, I know that you're a pretty boy. You grew up with all these galladam, all your arms. You didn't have to even work a single day in your life for any kind of woman. But you must have been rejected at some point in time.
Bunch of times.
Okay.
The worst one, which I doubt she's gonna. I don't even know where she is in the world.
Whoa! Don't go into scenario. Don't go into scenario yet.
But okay.
Why does rejection suck? Like,
just why does it?
What
suck?
is it about it? Yes.
So it sucks the most, especially when your brain is kind of like 99 to 100% locked in the fact that you're going to be successful at what you're going to do.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like losing a race or anything like that, but it's the the turn down, right? The saying that no, you can't have this. No, you can't do this. No, I don't want to be with you. No, I don't want to go here with you. That is uh, the worst feeling, especially when you're
Yes.
young, because when you're older, maybe you have a more perspective. Maybe you go into things with a kind of 50-50, kind of more of a realistic standpoint, kind of like hey, you know what? Even if I
Mm-hmm.
don't get this, maybe you have a plan B. When you're young, man,
Mm-hmm.
there's no plan. There's not much plan Bs, I don't think. I don't think you have a plan B. I think,
I think
especially,
when you're young, you're kind of fearless, to be honest. Like, the consequences aren't nearly as bad, I think.
you mean from the rejection? Like when what you feel?
Yeah, like okay, sorry, keep going.
I mean, you say that, but you were telling me how you're giving these candy grams and shit to these
No, I
girls, and
said
you're
it
just
wrong. I said
watching them.
no
You're just
because
like,
I said incorrectly. What I meant is, yes, it hurts when you're younger, right?
yeah.
100%, it hurts. But I mean, I feel like in some ways, the consequences when you're older can be
Oh, the
more
ramifications.
devastating.
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
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 but at
yeah,
the
yeah.
same time,
I
as
don't
I
know. I
say
don't
that,
know. Yeah,
I'm about to
because
bite my tongue on that because, as I said, if I'm younger, if I get rejected by a
you're
girl or
done. Like,
from
what makes
a
you
job or something, because I'm so young, that can actually be etched in my
deterrent?
personality, in my like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and can
intimidation.
screw
Yeah.
me over for the rest of my life. So yeah, I got to take that back. I got to take it back.
Yeah, especially if it's like the first time, or you really think that if you really think that your mind is set and you're gonna be successful at what you're about to ask, you know. So it sucks.
Yep.
It sucks. The feeling sucks. It sucks. The part where the feeling kind of dissolves, but when you go to repeat the same thing, that part sucks too, because now you're probably super apprehensive. You're not, that confidence level is dropped. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
No,
It's not.
it's rejection is extremely dangerous because it's not even the whatever the tangible physical thing that you wanted. It's not that. It's not only do you lose or miss out on that, but mentally it can screw up your confidence, screw up your future endeavors, screw up the way you approach things in the future, right?
Right.
Even if you're thinking about getting rejection from your parents, right? So if you ask your parents, "Oh, can I go to this party?" No, you can't go to this party. What do you mean? You got to do your homework or whatever
Right.
it is. Then automatically in the future you might think, I'm not going to ask because I can't go to this party. Whereas
Right.
maybe they just said that one time you can't go because they're
Perfect.
in a bad
Great.
mood. But now it's like, like now you're going to miss out on, pivotal childhood or adolescent events, moments, whatever, just as example. So that's why I wanted to talk about like rejection sucks because it doesn't just apply to yeah, you get rejected from a girl or a guy, whatever it is. Yes, that is a big part of rejection, but this can stem into like so many other
Yeah, and it creates.
branches of
Imagine
your life.
you just tapped onto something that's I didn't think about. Yeah, when you get
Oh,
rejected
did I
from
pull a heartstring?
when you get rejected by your parents, like like again, like how you say to go somewhere or do something, what happens the next time? You end up lying, right? Like you said, it
Yes,
changes you,
yes.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then maybe that becomes a part of you now, where you weren't a liar before, you weren't like a
But now you are.
rascal, yeah, and now you're kind of like a liar, you kind of you know how to like play it, you know how to like yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I didn't think about it that way, but
Absolutely.
it it definitely turns you. It definitely
I
turns you.
like CC all the time.
Yeah.
I'm
I should
joking.
edit. I'm gonna edit that part. So a minute. Maybe timestamp that.
That's gonna be like a moment where, like, after the show, I'm like, "Yo, Zan, remember I said this, yo? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I felt nice. I felt nice at the time. Not
Felt nice.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
take it
feeling
out.
confident.
Yeah,
You're
cut
feeling
it.
high at the
Yeah, cut it. Oh man, yeah. So in hindsight, I think everybody knows rejection does suck, but at the same time, there are some people where rejection has absolutely no bearing on them,
Right.
which I am not at that level. Like there's some people who literally like they can get turned down for a job, a loan, from a
Girls.
friend, a
Yeah.
girl, whatever it
Just
is,
keep going.
and they're literally like, oh well. They're like, oh, I'll find it somewhere else. So I don't need that or doesn't matter. I have not been able to reach that level of like, you know, I don't know,
Yeah.
solid foundation, grounding, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm there with if I think back to my like younger days and stuff like that, I don't think I was there as far as relationships go or like talking to the opposite sex. But I do feel that I don't have apprehensions when even though I've been rejected like job wise, career wise, like
Hmm.
I keep if for whatever reason in that world, I can keep going and digging and finding a way to put money in my pocket for my like I'll like maybe that's the driving force of like I don't care
I
if
think it's
this
because you need to.
yeah, but I don't know.
Like, you don't need to have a friend or girlfriend, whatever it is, that one girl, that one friend, whatever it is, but you need to make money for your family and yourself.
yeah, but you can
Like, that's
easily
an absolute necessity.
yeah, but a lot of people turn to stuff, you know, to kind of curb that rejection, right? Turn to like you know,
Food.
substances and food and all that kind of stuff. And
Mm.
like I feel like I don't I just feel like I can keep going cuz I believe in myself in that realm, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like so like
Well, wait, hang on.
yeah, go
Now
ahead.
we're into the how to overcome rejection.
Yes.
You do this all the time.
Yes.
Like, just stick to the schedule, guy.
I'm trying to get into I'm trying to get into part two. I'm trying to see
All right, fine. All
what
right,
you
yeah,
don't
all
see is
right.
the science in it. There's a science that hey, this is my first rodeo, you know.
Give me an example of what is your when was the last time you were rejected, Zam?
Last time I was rejected was for a job with the city of was York Region. I went in, I got the interview. I thought the interview went well. I thought I met all the things they were looking for, and they said
Mm-hmm.
no. And then they actually said to me, they actually emailed me. Usually people don't say no, but they sent me something saying, "Hey, you know, we appreciate you coming by. We chose to go to in another direction." Right?
Mm-hmm.
I am so quick with like I already I wanted that. I wanted that position, that job. So that was about 2 years ago. It's roughly I got laid off in late 2017. So this was kind of fairly around that time, maybe a couple months removed. And I just kept going and I just said to myself, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. And like I've always been able to do something for myself. So that was the last time that I did. And if I had to answer the question of like how to overcome it, I would probably say you got to keep going. And I think you touched on it again there too with when you're talking about it was a necessity. I have to do this for my family,
Mm.
so I can't just sulk or be sad about it, or maybe maybe I eat it. Maybe I eat it that night. And I just feel away that night, but the next day I wake up, it's hey, I got to figure this shit out. You know what I mean?
So what if you don't have the what about rejection from things that aren't actually a necessity, right? Because yeah, one thing is a job. You know you have to work, so you go to the next thing, you deal with it,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But what if you get rejected for something where it's like you didn't need it, but you really want it, and I think that's kind of how dreams get crushed. Let's say if you want to be an entrepreneur and you go to open up a new business, whatever it is,
Yes.
and you go to the bank to get a loan, for example, and they say no, you're not getting it. Then it's just like, okay, and a lot of people would turn around and be like, all right, I guess it's
I have been
not supposed to happen, right?
so you know my story that like I have been stay at home dad for like my kind of semi retired ish, I guess. Still kind of trying to do my own thing, but I can't get, dude. I've applied for Home Depot credit cards. I can't get it. I've applied for Lowe's credit cards. I can't get them.
Can't get.
Walmart. I can't get nothing. And I've been rejected by all these people. I've been rejected by Brick. The Brick, who gives like like everybody. They'll give Casey a card. They won't give me a card. They won't give me anything. You know what I mean? So it sucks because it sucks because you're almost like, not to say anything, but you're almost like I'm able to pay these things. I just want to get the card
Mm.
for the promotion, or like, I can wait
Yeah,
2 years
yeah,
to
yeah.
pay this shit. Like it doesn't bother me. But
That's
just
hilarious.
as recently as last year, I built a deck in the back, and it costs I think roughly about 6-7 grand, like material wise and all this stuff. I'd probably say, give or take, and it they rejected me, dude, and I already rejected me straight. I thought, oh, maybe like now it'll be all right. Let me try again. Rejected me straight out, man. So I don't know. I
No,
mean,
it's funny you say that because, again, as you guys know, since you guys been following our story, I just got a house in June. So, my credit done been it ran a million times, and I loaded up the line of credit and all this stuff, put all the money into the house, did the renovations, blah, blah, blah. And then it was at the end of the renovations, I was like, because even my mom and Caesar was like, oh, you should get a Home Depot card. I'm like, they're not going to approve me. Like, I just got this house. Like, there's no way they'll approve me. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
And the renovation, so I have like everything all done up, all this that I go there. I was like, yo, big up, Frank. Let me just go check this out quick time, right? I go in, I'm like, hey, can I apply for a car? How long does it take? She's like, oh, a few seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, I told her, I'm like, I probably won't get it. I just got a house, but let's just see. Come back, approve me for like $5,000. I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, what? And she's like, if you want, you can get an increase too. I'm like, no. I'm like, I just wanted to see if I could do it. But
oh, this was like your wow. Was this like your litmus test to just see if you could actually? You just wanted to just
I went to
Home Depot, because you're all done. Your renos are done.
I was done. I was just getting a little. I forget what I was getting, but it wasn't anything big. I was getting something, and I was like, let me just check, and then boom, and I got it, and then I was like, all right, yo, Cece, we good. So, so we got some wood and stuff. I'm like, all right, yo, let's use it. But yo, shout out Home Depot guy. Like, you guys believed in me.
Don't believe in me. Don't believe in me. Don't trust nothing. They actually canceled sorry to side note here. They canceled my card. Like, I didn't cancel the card. They canceled the card because it never got used. Like, I just never used it. I just would pay. I always would just pay.
To my PC credit card. Like, I had that in like university and finally canceled. I got a letter saying, yo, we canceled this. I'm like, I didn't even know I had this card.
I still had this on my record. Yeah.
But I'm like, really? All right, sure.
But yeah, see, that's an example of maybe we're not the best for that thing, because imagine there's people out there who probably really needed that.
They really
needed that help, or needed that little bit of assistance. So that little bit of thing, that relief, I guess, and they were not able to get it. And I can't imagine what that feels like. That's got to be something that's like, especially if it's a necessity, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we're talking about like something we wanted but didn't really need it. Mm-hmm. I don't know another situation like that in my adult life. I can always, obviously, I'm going back to like women and stuff, young days, but I can't imagine how
rejection could also come in a form of like a downgrade. With regards to, for example.
Okay.
I'll talk football, so I'll out myself. So I am not an elite. So I play touch football, and I'm not an elite football player by any means. But I do believe I have good routes. I've been working on my hands, and like I found myself to be a valuable offensive player. And this year I was on a stupid just stacked team.
Okay.
But I thought I was going to get offense. Like, I even told the QB, I'm like, yeah, I'm offense. He's like, all right, we'll get your reps in, no problem.
Okay.
I played defense the entire season.
Wow.
And in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm helping the team. However I have to help out, It's fine. But in my mind, I also kind of felt like, I'm like, damn, like, they don't want me on the offense. Like, that's legit. I've expressed that offense is what I do. Offense is what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think I got 2 reps, and that's because someone got injured. And it was such a humbling moment because, like I said, I know I'm not elite, but I'm like I was good enough to at least run,
to get a shot, and
run with the boys, get a shot, right?
Yeah, sure.
And again, like, because I'm competitive and I care so much about how people see me in what light.
Yes,
I just felt like I was just like this is such a.
But in a way, you made in your way, like, kind of we were talking, like, you almost made yourself vulnerable, right? You said to them, "Hey, you put your cards on the table. You're like, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I'm good at." And the thing, that thing wasn't I guess was respected or rejected. I guess.
Well,
both,
here's the flip side. I didn't get offense, and the way I twisted, I'm like, our offense is running so smooth. I can't even say anything.
You're
I'm like, every single person. It's not
like man's like mess up. You're like,
yo,
you're just
pissed.
No, yeah.
Guy, they were catching. They couldn't drop a ball, and they like our offense was just stupid. So I was like, all right, fine. That's how I dealt with it. I'm like, I see it, and also how I dealt with it is they put me at safety, which is one of the hardest defensive positions.
Okay.
So I was just like, all right, so I missed out on the opportunity of offense, but I'm getting the opportunity to be, the toughest, defensive position. But I missed it. I was like, Yo, man, come on, like.
But see, isn't it funny how like even at your age now, you're probably gonna remember this. Like you're probably gonna remember that feeling or that this time that thing happening probably till forever, right? Like you're not gonna forget
Honestly,
it.
I'll tell you this. It just made me want to work harder, right? Like
But
if
you're still
this is
gonna
a
remember that
barely like his
moment,
touch,
right? Like meaning what
absolutely,
you do
I'm
after that is
remembering it.
whatever. But like, and you can build on that moment, go harder at that moment, like just make you stronger. But just remember, you always remember those moments, right? Those moments suck, man. Those
Absolutely,
moments suck.
100%,
Did you ever get?
100%.
Have you ever had a some sort of form of rejection employment wise, like at work, and like
You know what? To be honest, I can say I've been very fortunate with work where I've never really had to like search or scrape to find work or anything. I guess the only if it I mean I got let go from a company once, but that's because they were literally going downhill and closed doors and got sold. So
did you know the layoff was gonna happen?
no,
Right.
no.
So how
Like
was that? How was that feeling? How was that process? How was that?
you know what? It was weird because I was ready to leave. Like the people, my close friends, like my clique, whatever, they knew that like I was like, I'm kind of over this place.
Right.
Um, and I was actually kind of hoping to get let go because I'm like, hey, if I get let go, I get a package. So
Right.
sure. And when I did get let go, I was like, oh, nice. Okay. It's done. That's it. And again, I didn't have any worries about a job because I actually had friends who were calling saying, yo, man, this place needs you, whatever. I was like, I'm going to take some time off. But then actually a few days later, or maybe weeks, I was just, that kind of joy turned to a little disdain. I was just like, why do they let me off first?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
Like,
Sure, sure,
why
sure.
does that mean I wasn't valuable? Does
Yep.
that mean I was doing a bad job? Like, I know they were kind of doing bad anyways, but like, you know, I really put a lot of work into there and I felt like it was kind of unjustly done. But then
That's after you had some time to kind of sit on it,
yeah, to
right?
let
Yeah,
it
yeah.
settle in,
Yeah.
right? And, but then I was like, you know what? It is what it is, right? And now I go about my day just, you know, I've definitely gotten over it. I understand it. It's over with, and and yeah, the way I got over it is just by proving to myself that I am wanted elsewhere, right? So
Have you
when I
ever
had recruiters calling me, and you know, I got this job literally in one interview without even, you know, really like having to sell myself, I was like, okay, cool, that's fine.
was there ever like a time where even when like when you're younger with your parents, was there something that happened like with them, within them, like their dad? For me, my dad got laid off. I remember that it was like a 2 year like rubbing pennies together kind of thing. Like I said, I never believes me, but um, I know that happened to my family, and that was something that kind of affected everything. You know what I mean? Affected our whole world. I guess I could say.
Hmm.
Was there anything that happened to you like that? Do you ever have anything like that? And like, was there any overcoming moments or anything like that where family
Um,
wise or like something kind of maybe not you directly it happened to, but it was something that happened with the people around you?
I know my sister, shout out Jenny Ann, she had trouble with med school. Like it's very competitive.
Okay.
And so when she didn't get in the first time, I know that we like a bunch of us we all felt her pain, right?
Right.
Because we knew how hard she worked, we knew how she busted her ass working all these jobs. She went to Haiti, worked there, like she did so much
She
stuff,
put
and
time into work and
she
time and
put
time
time
and
in,
time.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when that happened, even though it didn't happen directly to me, it happened to someone who I
Feel
cherished.
it.
So I was just
Yeah.
like, ugh, that sucks, right? My parents, they've never stopped working from day zero since they landed in Canada. And they played the system well, and they've been treated. I think they've been like I'm a kid, so I wasn't really heavily involved in knowing what
What's
happened at
going
work,
on? Yeah.
but they stayed with the same company for 25, 30 years, both
Right.
of them, right? So so I think we were definitely the lucky ones in that case. And so yeah, I don't know. I can't really say there's
I do wonder if there's a more of a or more of sustainability with that generation where like there's probably a lot of stuff happening but us kids didn't know. You know what I mean? So even when all that
You have
stuff,
to also remember, I'm a little biased because I'm an island, Caribbean family, right? And what I'm trying to say is like my parents, they're even back home, they're used to like grinding and working, like for every dollar, for everything they ever got. So here, I'm 100% sure they had hardships, but they dealt with it, right? They just
yeah, that's what
put their hair
that's what I'm kind of
down.
alluding to. Yeah,
They toughed through it, right?
yeah, that's what I'm kind of alluding to. That generation kind of has a like a survival. We're always gonna figure it out kind of thing. That I
Mm-hmm.
think if you are living in that family, growing up in that family, and you're aware of that, that translates to you even without it being said. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where I was going.
I see what you're saying.
That like for whatever reason you're gonna be faced with you're gonna get rejection also. You're gonna be rejected. You're gonna be told no. But for whatever reason, like through osmosis, maybe you're able to kind of I think again, and that's my bias coming through too, which I second your bias, where like you have that history and you kind of are aware of them having that history themselves. Where now when you're faced with stuff, it's not a total backbreaker, you know? It's not a total like man sit in the corner kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You've adopted their mental.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Strength,
I would never
capacity,
know.
whatever you.
I would have never known that happened to my dad unless my mom said. There was nothing different about what my dad was still he was going somewhere.
Azam,
I don't know where he was going.
Azam noticed his dad was home every single day. Didn't question, you're not going to work?
Yeah, he went from he used to work at like the steel factory for like 15 years, and then all of a sudden he was like cutting carpets and delivering carpets and drywall and all this kind of stuff. Which for me, when you're a kid, you're just your dad's working, right? Like he's gone the same amount of hours. It feels like it. Anyways, you know what I mean?
As long as you get the next video game, you're like, all right, we good.
Yeah, but see, that was the thing. I remember getting like a globe for my birthday, like a globe, like a globe of the world. And I like imagine that happened to me. I don't know how old. Maybe I was 10, 11, 12. I don't remember how old I was. But imagine I'm almost 40 now, and I can still remember getting that globe and thinking to myself like, a globe, you know, like it's a globe, right? But not knowing that things are so tight right now that. Yo, hold the globe, dog. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Bregin, hold the globe.
Absolutely.
Maybe she'll turn around, but like, hold that globe right now. You know what I mean?
That's actually a globe.
Yeah, I was like
a globe.
Really? Yeah, because you go from like these new video game or whatever it is, that new toy or whatever. You get a globe, and you're still a kid. It's not like I'm in university. Like, yo, here's for your desk. You know, it's like a little kid getting a globe, and I'm like, now when I think about it, it falls in time with that.
I have a question for you because I can't relate. Have you ever been, in this personal question, have you ever been rejected by your kids? Like ever, like everyone were like, where kids like, oh, I want to go hang out with mommy, or I want to go in mommy's car, or 100%. Whatever.
Every father,
how's that?
Every father out there probably knows, because there's a thing that happens between year 1 and 2, where those children they favor mommy, man. They favor the mom, dude. They favor them, and you can't blame them for that. But I was rejected so much by Callie and Casey. Casey, who me and him are like this. Like, I'm tied my fingers together. People can't see. We're like that now, and probably by the time he hit 3 or 4. But man, he didn't want to see me, dude. Like, I used to have to like trick him to go to sleep. I used to take him from Saida to give her a break because he would never leave anyone. And I used to go like run water and walk by the water, like to kind of like shh.
I don't get it.
Like, the water is calming. Like, they're hearing the water. It's almost like they're hearing they're in the womb. So you're reminding them of that sound. That's how desperate I got to like spend time with them. That's like some Oprah level Dr. Phil kind of. Yeah. And I'd run the water in the washroom in the hallway, walk by it, so it'd be like a shoo. Just to hold this kid, dude. Just to hold this freaking kid. So thing. And it sucks because what sucks about it too is like especially if any dads out there, if your wife ends up staying home for whatever amount of time it is, and you are rushing to get home because you want to see this baby, you get home, you get there, and they don't want nothing to do with you. You know, or Marlon, our buddy Marlon gave the story of him rushing home, coming home to his new daughter, that was born, which she's probably just about a month now, right? And him getting home so excited, and
yeah.
she just projectile vomits in his face. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, Dad, nothing personal, but she probably didn't do that to Mom. You know what I mean? Mom could have done that 10 times.
Yeah, but, oh no, that's the thing. You don't see it though, right?
No, not I mean in that scenario it doesn't happen. Meaning like she probably like you're coming home just like bright eyed, bushy tailed, like, hey baby, what's it's like,
listen to the sound of my people.
Yeah. But that rejection from your kids, especially when they're small, sucks because you can't like you're kind of holding back your words, right? You're holding back what you would say. You know what I mean? You almost don't want to come across like, hey, what do you mean? I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? You know?
So I have a question for you then.
Yeah.
Another question. What do you consider is not necessarily the biggest rejection, but the rejection that had the biggest impact on your life?
Wow.
If you want, I can start because you might have to think about it. Unless you know.
So I'm gonna go with one, and then maybe you say one, and then maybe I'll get back to another one.
All right, I can give a top two. Yeah, I can give top two. Yeah.
So one, and I'm gonna relate this back to relationships and women. The one that happened to me was grade 6, a girl named Nazma. I asked her to go to the dance. She said no. All arrows pointed to her liking me. All arrows pointed to me liking her. I asked her. She said no. From that point on, Azam never asked a girl out ever again until my wife.
Really?
Who then? Yes, I never actually said to a woman or a girl, "Hey, let's go out." Hey, it's almost like I did this whole song and dance routine, like flirt around, you know, like words and all that. But to make them come to, almost like, you know, you're drawing them to me, like drawing them to me that want to be with me. But I would never say to them, hey, why don't we go out? Hey, why don't I take you out? Hey, yeah, I never did that. And that instance affected the rest of my dating relationship life. 100%.
Really?
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my first one.
I would say that my biggest, the one that's affecting me the most, sorry, I should say, the story I said before about when I lost my my best friend right after, like immediately after university, right? When he kind of rejected me for his then wife, whatever.
Oh, this is a few episodes. This is like
this is a while ago.
Season 1 episodes, right?
Season 1, yeah. And when
just
that
maybe
happened,
update a little bit. Give a little quick synopsis of this.
Why?
People listening now might not know, man. Long story short,
I had a best friend who we were connected at the hip through high school, university. We were in every class, same program, same projects, same everything. And long story short, he got with his then wife, and she did not like his friends for some reason.
Right.
To this day,
as much gal do.
And she just she caused some ripples, and he ended up dumping his friends off for this girl. And yeah, when that happened, and this is actually the only time I've ever given an ultimatum to anybody ever in my life. And then it got to a point where I was just like, yo, man, listen, her or me, you get back with her, you're losing me. Like, right? In my mind, I'm like, I'm literally his brother. That ain't gonna happen. It happened. I was like, damn. And when that happened, I was just, that kind of changed my outlook to this day on relationships, like friendships, like that kind of relationships. Thinking, you know what? You can have all the best friends in the world. They can say what they want, but like I almost have a part of my mind, I guess, a part of my personality where it's a small part. It changes in size for certain people. This part of my mind, but I always have a little piece in my mind where I'm just like, this person can drop me off any day. Probably will for something, right? But like, let's say my close friends, like my best friends today, it's like a little spark in my mind thinking that. But as people, remember when we talked about the click, as you go outside the circle more and more,
yeah,
that part's in my mind was just like, I enjoy our time together. That's cool, but I guess it's just part of it. I just don't trust people in general, to be quite honest. I'm fearful. I'll put myself out there. I am absolutely fearful of rejection. I hate rejection. I like to be liked or wanted or involved. And the idea that people, or my friends, I should say, don't want me involved in their life, or might be putting on a fake face, or can drop me off like that, absolutely terrifies me. That's the honest truth, 100%. And I think that's why I try so hard when people come over. I try to make them feel like they're at home, they're relaxed. I'm like, yo, my house is your house. Do what you got to do, whatever it is. A, because I want them to have a good time, but B, because it's like I want them to have in their mind, if they're hanging out with Frank, they're having a good time, right? So that rejection really screwed me up a bit, actually, to this day.
I can't follow that. there's no breakup story that I
my minor one, my second one was just I wasn't a popular person in school, right. And I never achieved getting the girls that I had a thing for, but that was also like due to lack of confidence. But I've had my fair share of rejections, to the point where I felt like I was ugly, useless, and not popular enough to get a girl, and I just kind of said, screw it, whatever, just go on my business. And that didn't change until probably university, I would say. University is when that changed.
Yo, I gotta give you props and respect to you as a man. Because it takes a lot. And I don't know if you've shared these things with many other people, but I feel lucky for you to have shared that with me. I just
shared it with all of our subscribers.
Yeah, but they're not in the room with you. You know what I'm trying to say, Frankie?
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
I appreciate that. So, and I think that is something that is as telling, and I think that is something that is probably more often the case, where you have where there's probably more people that are feeling that way constantly at that time. You know what I mean? So when you're going through that stuff, and what you just talked about in your experiences, really relatable, I would assume. So if anybody's out there, I don't know if Frank wants to give his personal email.
Come of age off the podcast.
Yeah, we make a lot of jokes on this podcast, but I think that's something where, like, if somebody has something to say or somebody wants to share their experience, we welcome that, man. I want to put that out there. If anybody wants to share their experience with us and stuff
everyone
like that.
has their demons, their fears, their stuff, right? And I think most people actually put on a mask when they're
where you bottle it up. You kind of bottle up, and you kind of maybe sometimes a lot of people close that chapter off. They close that chapter off, and maybe they start a new chapter, and but that thing is still in you, like how you said that thing never leaves you. Like that spark, that rejection still leaves that scar. Not a spark, it leaves that scar.
Absolutely.
On you, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Is there a third? What was the third part to this thing? The third part.
No, we kind of so actually we can specify. So the third part was how to overcome rejection. And we kind of touched on a few things. So one thing that you said with regards to like getting a loan or work or whatever is like you just gotta truck on, right? So you can get rejected for whatever it is. And I am a firm believer in personal motivation, as in motivating yourself to just be like, listen, did this happen? Yes, it did. Did it suck? Yes, it did. Would have been nice for me to just been welcomed with open arms for whatever it is that I was chasing. 100%. But none of those things happened. Therefore, what I'm going to do, mope about? No. Let's just go find the other opportunity, the other friend, the other girl, the other whatever that's going to make me happy and get back in the winning race. I kind of compare it to stocks, to be honest.
Okay.
I forget where I heard it, but I heard it somewhere where it's like, if you lose money on one stock, just remember you can always make that money back on another one, right? And it's true. You can lose on X, but you take that whatever, you take your ass whooping, say, okay, hey, it happened, go somewhere else, and you can make double your money, if not more. So when it comes to rejection, it's the same thing. It's like, if a company doesn't want you, all right, well, screw them. They're missing out. They're missing out on, hey, I might not be the smartest person, but guess what? I'll work harder than the other people. So you're missing out, and I'll take my talents elsewhere.
And
LeBron.
that is the positive, and that is the positive flip to being, and maybe the great thing about rejection also too is it's a great time for a reality check, maybe for yourself, right? It's a great time to check maybe a great ego check, a great reality check, for you, because there's nothing like getting that direct rejection, that direct no, that turn down, that right in your face, especially right, especially if it's right in your face, whether it's on a phone call, I mean on your face, not even just personally, but you getting it like that, like a direct no, like this is not going to work, you're no longer needed, all that stuff. You can easily take that as a reason to sulk or reason to kind of give up or kind of deter yourself. Or you can kind of turn that into a positive, which is what Frank is alluding to, which I think more and more people, it feels like just in general, society kind of has this thing now where it's like, don't take no for an answer. You know what I mean? Keep knocking on those doors. Keep climbing the ladder. You know what I mean? Don't give up on your dreams. I feel like that's even more emphasized now than ever, you know, culturally wise.
I don't know, because I also keep hearing how like the youth of today feel like they're entitled, right? They feel like
I think that's old
be
people
given.
Stuff, though. I think that's old people talk. I feel like that's old people talk.
I hear it from old people, but I also hear it from like people our age, like in their 30s. Like, yeah, I went to school, I did all this, and I worked. You know, I spent my last 10 years building myself up. These
that's
kids just want to come out of school making $100,000. Like, what do you mean? Like,
but that's what I mean. But that's what I go by. Like, they were told that this should happen. They're told that go to school, get a job, you're gonna make money. They're told that if you post these things, you're gonna be successful. They're told that if you do this kind of style, you're gonna be famous on Instagram. You'll be socially famous. If you do these things.
Yeah.
So there's enough examples out there, and more now than I think when we were growing up, of people being successful at all these things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I am not biased. That's my opinion on that take on this generation feeling entitled. I feel like it's an old person thing of like, oh, these people just want everything handed to them. They've been told that this should happen if I do this. And they don't get it. They're like, yo, what do you mean, man? What you mean I can't get it? This?
Yo, you mean I just did 4 years of school for nothing?
Yeah. Because where we would be like, all right, what are we going to do?
What, you mean you don't want to get sweet up?
Let's regroup. Bitch, you telling me you don't want to sweet up? But you got anything else you want to add here? Go ahead.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
This will be my last advice of how to get out of or overcome rejection.
Yes.
Is ask yourself, so there's one way to say, hey, they're missing out, whatever, I'll move on. But then you should also be like, hey, okay, why did I get rejected? Right? If it was a girl, let's say, okay, why did I get rejected? Oh, I guess I kind of came off as an asshole, or you know what, maybe I shouldn't just put a note in her sharpener. I should have gone and said, hey, what up? You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. Maybe I should have lasted more than 10 seconds. Damn it. But
oh my god!
Come on, that's a good. Yeah. There you go. But you should ask yourself, because whether the rejection is justified or not, you can still learn from it. So, for example, if you get rejected, let's go back to a project or a non-project, a position at work, and someone says, no, we're going to choose this guy over you, and you ask why, and let's say you know the reasons because the other person has connections with said hirer, right? Or employer. You could say, oh, that sucks, they have connections, I work hard, that's bullshit. Or you can say, okay, maybe I need to work on my networking, right? I should start friendlying up to the bosses, going golfing when they actually invite us out, go out for the drink, and that way they'll know my name, know that I'm not just a statistic, but I'm actually someone who's personable and who they would enjoy working with. That's the thing, people enjoy working with people who they enjoy working with, right? like who can actually have a conversation maybe or is like them. So you should also analyze, determine why you rejected. Now, again, if a girl rejects you, you shouldn't show up on their front door like, hey, so can we just have a post, like a debrief on why you rejected me, please? But you should try to extrapolate the information on your own time. That is my final word. I'm going to put my stamp of approval on my own damn advice.
I am dreaming of us to do a part 2 of this, and I want us only to focus on rejection stories, like relationship rejection stories. And I want to have maybe one more person to maybe be on it, because I've been biting my tongue. I bit my tongue because I knew we kind of wanted to go into
rejections, man. I have some interesting ones.
Oh, I got some great ones, bro. I can
imagine you have some fantastic ones.
Oh, I got some good ones because I'm not the one to say no, right?
But if we do that, I think we have to have I was gonna say we have to have a girl. The girl won't have any rejections. Like, when girls get rejected? Come on, man.
I think girls get rejected.
Actually, I guess they get rejected sometimes.
Yeah. I've rejected.
Have the power, though.
I've rejected not knowing that I rejected, which sucks. Which is that's the sucking. That part sucks too. Anyway. So, I definitely want to revisit this, and I bit my tongue a lot in this, and I try to really stick to what you kind of wanted to us to kind of gear towards. I want to be so relationship heavy.
I'll just say it. It is so easy for this conversation to go 100% relationship heavy, right. But I really want to keep focused. Like, our podcast is about everything, so we'll do a part 2. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah. That being said. It is time now, once again, for everyone's favorite segment of the week. It is one of our favorite times of the show. It is time for Spittin' in 5.
Hands up and hands down, back up. What you gonna do now? Keep rolling. What? Keep spitting. 5. Hey, what's up, everybody? If you're just tuning in, this is Spittin' in 5. For those of you who have been living underneath a rock or just quarantined during this quarantine, I guess, and haven't been listening to our podcast, fool on you, or no, shame on you, I should say. Spin in 5 is quite simply a 5-minute segment. We don't necessarily do 5 minutes. It's usually more. But it is where I ask a question or a scenario or propose a versus of my choice in which Azam has to answer. He does not know the topic, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what we just discussed. Period. Right. Azam, are you ready for this week's question?
I am.
This is something that I struggle to do, and I just want to know if you share in this struggle.
Okay. Yep.
Have you ever just been walking anywhere? You can be walking down the street, walking in the mall, walking at work, walking down a corridor, walking in your own house. But have you ever been walking? Okay, just chilling, right? And have you ever tried to close your eyes for as many steps as you can while you walk?
I have done this. How the hell do you know this? Is this a common human thing?
Like, hey, you said you have not?
I know I have done this many times.
Guy, yeah. I cannot. Okay, I can have a clear path in front of me.
Right.
No one around, no obstructions.
You start angling.
I know that I can walk straight. I know left in front and right, no problem. But I'm like, all right, let's close my eyes. At like step 8 or 10, I'm like, yo, gosh, what am I about? Am I about to walk off a cliff? I'm about to walk into a wall? I lose my shit. I can't pass. Like, I think max I did was 15 steps, and I was like,
losing.
Like, I just felt brave that day, yo.
Yo, so let me ask you a question. Is this in your house now, or in your house that you grew up in? Like, is there no difference? Like, it happens to you?
No, not even, like, this is outside of my house. Like, I'll do this at work or walking down a sidewalk or
you close somewhere. Your eyes walking on the sidewalk? No, I don't do that. So I'm gonna retrace what I said. Like, no, I don't do that. I have never done that. I thought you were talking about like in your house, like you just
Well, my
like
house is only so big.
testing your
But, like,
awareness. You know what I mean? I do that all the
so
time.
you don't do this outside the house?
I'm a father of two. What the hell? Where am I gonna be on the news that I got laced by a car? And when Saida asks me and it wants the truth, I can't be like, "Oh, yo, this guy hit me on jaywalking." Be like, "Yo, Frank told me if I close my eyes and see how far I can get." Like, no, I didn't do that, man. You're
never
brave,
done it. No, man. Yo,
You're
someone
brave,
who's listening
dude.
has definitely done this. Are you? There's been there's been times like if I'm out for a walk. If I'm on the most times I do is usually if I'm on the sidewalk, and I'll be walking. I'm like,
but you work downtown. You've done this in Toronto, like downtown.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god, you're a brave
But like,
guy.
if I'm walking, like usually there's grass, and I'll be like, listen, I know that I can keep walking, and I will feel the grass under my feet if I'm veering off. I can walk. I should be able to walk endlessly.
No,
but I cannot get past like my max is 15 steps, and at 10 steps, I'm like, I gotta open my eyes.
You realize people who aren't able to see have like dogs with them, right? Like seeing eye dogs and shit. You're trying to voluntarily like get yourself from point A to point B. No, man.
Never
so
done
again,
this.
I have what I thought you meant was in your house. Like I'll in my house, like if there's no lights on, I will test. I have tested my full out awareness, not with eyes open, closed. I'm like eyes closed. Get downstairs, get to the fridge.
So that's easy. You know the layout.
But that's what I was asking you. I'm like, oh, yo, you get that happens. You do that in your house, and you kind of get messed up. You kind of veer off. You kind of angle right, angle. I was like, I didn't know you're doing it in public, man. You look crazy. Wouldn't you look crazy outside? Do you wear glasses?
Well, no, I check first to make sure there's no one walking towards me. Right?
Frank, don't do this.
Or they'll be like, yo,
don't
why are your eyes
this.
closed, guy?
Don't do this.
Don't do this.
What if you get something happens to you?
Yo, you know what's gonna happen? Someone listening to this podcast, they're gonna stop it.
Oh my god,
that's guy right there who wants his eyes closed. Let's go rob his ass.
You're like, keep your eyes closed. You're like, oh shit.
You can do it, Frank. You can do it.
Keep your eyes closed.
Don't worry.
Run your pockets, yo. Run your pockets. Keep your eyes closed.
Fine. Azam. Yeah. I challenge you then. I challenge you.
I'm not doing
Azam.
this.
Listen, you got a sidewalk in your neighborhood, right? Just try walking. Listen, in public. Try walking in public.
That's insane.
And okay, you make sure no one's walking towards you, so you don't look like a crazy person. But try walking like 10 paces with your eyes closed, because I'm telling you, you'd be like, you can be in an open parking lot. You'd be like, oh, it's fine. It's an open parking lot. But when you close your eyes, you suddenly think like lava just appeared, or like a pole just appeared, or like something, when really there's nothing.
Because you're not opening your eyes. You're not seeing anything. This defies logic.
About trusting
your
what you saw before you closed them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're trusting the average. You're looking at this thing and saying, you know what, I can average this about 20 paces. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. What do you think? What else do you think I'm saying?
No, I know that's what you're saying, but I'm just thinking when you're saying to go outside, you're doing the thing is that's messing me up, and maybe I sound crazy. I know for a fact you work downtown. And I cannot understand why a man like you, educated person, a smart person, a friend of mine, would close their eyes and walk downtown. It is unfathomable to me. If anything, when I'm downtown, I am sketch artist, bro. I am left to right, looking up and down, making sure everything is like shit don't fall on my head and everything.
Like I said, I look around, I make sure no one's walking towards me, so I look like an idiot. It's 10 paces. Just give it a try, yo.
You already just said you shit yourself when you lava's showing up. You're saying you said you yourself have just said to me at 10 paces. You're like, oh man, lava.
You're taking what I'm saying so out of context, but that is what I did say. That is what I said. Oh my god. Yeah, I came in live.
Listen, anybody listening to this, don't do it, man.
Stop!
Please.
Yo, stop this, man. You always do this. I give advice or something. You're like, yo, anybody listen to this? Don't listen to Frank.
The last
you
2 or 3. You
did that with the youth when I told them how to handle a girl's period.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't listen to Frank.
Don't listen to Frank.
Yo, if anybody took my advice from the last Spittin and Vibe, hit us up in the comments. I want to know if my tactics worked. Okay, I'll wait. It's been 7 days, so you have maximum 2 more weeks before it's gonna hit, or 3 weeks. So
all
let
those
me know.
mans are gonna be calling or texting from an unknown number because their gal, this shit was in the house. Like this other girl, they couldn't go back in the house to get them.
all I'm getting texts like, "Yo, fuck you, man! I lost my girl."
I'm gonna get.
Did not work.
I am going to get. Already mentally. I'm beaten by this challenge because I'm already thinking that something's gonna happen to me. I can lie to the cops. I can lie to the ambulance people. I can lie to when Saida goes, babe, what were you doing? I'm like, yeah, man, Frank told me that if I just test out my spatial cognitive.
Yo, Frank told me to walk 10 paces with my eyes closed.
I
don't know why I did it.
I lost both my legs and I have no legs. I no longer can play with anyone.
I lost my legs. What you gonna do? Shit happens.
Shit happens. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna learn from this rejection. I'm gonna learn from it.
I'm
gonna learn from it.
I can only read. All right, pal. So there's no part 2 to this, right? There's no like ride your bike. Eyes closed thing, right?
It's funny you say that, but I'm gonna let it go.
You can, as always, find us.
You ever try driving with your eyes closed, yo?
Oh my god, Brampton.
You know what, man? Eyes closed.
First of all, I'm sure all Brampton mans have done this. All Brampton teenage and early 20s mans are just closing their eyes driving, dude. Smashing them.
Man, Jesus, take the wheel.
You can find us everywhere you listen to music, everywhere you listen to podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, Spotify. Anywhere you listen to music, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find a Coming of Age. You can find us on social media at Coming of Age _ the podcast on Coming of Age.
Click, like, comment, follow, subscribe.
Reason why
all the above.
You know what? We have a Twitter account. This is kind of why I'm just kind of like
we
paused
literally
up
go over
and
this
I was trying to pull up
week.
trying to pull up the Twitter account here. Sorry, I believe it's a Coming of Age, but you know, if you hit us up, we'll get the message. But
I do not know what is on our Twitter account. I don't know.
I was kind of
someone
scared
could
to
be
look at
cussing us every single day on our Twitter account, and we wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know. Like black guy, honestly. Brown guy, Muslim, not Muslim. Like all that could be anything on there, dude. It could be anything going on there. Anyways, as always, you can also email us at acomingofage.thepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
I am Azam. This is Frank. Frankie, any last words?
I'm not dying, so no.
The ultimate rejection. That is the ultimate rejection.
Any last words, boy? See you next week. Guys, always a pleasure. Check us out. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, hey, honestly, also, we got some special guests coming up.
Oh yeah,
start seeing the guests roll up. We're working on 2 things, so tune in next week and see you guys on the flip side.
We'll catch you down the road.
Check you.